Hey, what's up? This is Marcus from Machine City Audio, and for today's plugin worth checking out, we are going to take a closer look at the Arouser from Empirical Labs. Okay, so for those who don't know about Empirical Labs, they actually make a compressor called the Distressor, and this is a hardware piece, and it sounds great. So this is what the Arouser is modeled after, and they added some new features to the Arouser that are not available on the actual Distressor. And to me, these features that they added is what takes this compressor to the next level and making it one of the most versatile compressors that I've used myself personally. All right, so let's go over some of the features about the Arouser. Now, as you can see, we have the white knobs that you find on the Distressor. First knob we have is the input, which is going to act like your threshold. We have the attack next to that, release, and then the output. And the output is for gain compensation. Above the white knobs, we have the gain reduction meter. Now, if you come down below, we have the ratio, which goes from 1:1 to 20:1. And then the rivet is like hitting the nuke button on the actual Distressor. So, I mean, you're really smashing the hell out of something when you hit that rivet. Now, below that, we have the attack modification. And what the attack modification does is change the shape of the attack. So it allows you to get more aggressive compression without losing your transients or smashing your low end. It eases up some of that pumping that you get when you do heavy compression, and I'll show you how that sounds. Next to that, we have soft clipping, and this is your saturation, and you have a meter to show you how much saturation that you're actually getting. Below that, we have the high pass filter, and this is good for letting in your low end to ease up some of that pumping that you get when your kick and your bass are hitting the compressor. Okay, so next up, we have the detector sidechain EQ. And this is actually the first compressor I've seen with a parametric EQ built into it. All right, so what this does is allow you to actually use this as a de-esser if you need to. You can affect the way the compressor reacts to certain frequencies. All right, so if you needed to use this on a vocal to de-ess it, and then what you would do is come over here, find a frequency that's giving you the most trouble, you will boost it, and then the compressor is going to react to that frequency more so than it would the other frequencies. And you can also use the bandwidth to tighten that up to really hone in on what you're trying to get rid of. You can also use this if you have a loop, a drum loop, and let's say something's poking out too much in that drum loop, but you want to kind of even out the performance. So if it's the kick or the snare that's poking out too much, what you would do is come over here, dial in the frequency that you're trying to control, and you would either boost or cut that. So if you want the snare and the kick to hit the compressor equally, then you will come over here, either cut or boost, and that will help even out the overall performance. Now, I'll actually show you how that sounds and show you what I mean by that as well. All right, and next to that, we have the blend knob, which is for parallel compression. And then in the same little box, we have this E. You click on that E, it brings up another knob, which is the dry level trim, and you can have control over that as well. All right, now I didn't mention, but if you come up here, we have some great presets that you can use. And then you also have the help option. Okay, so I actually have a few examples that I want to play for you and show you how I use the Arouser. So for the first example, we're going to use it on the mix bus, and I'm just going to show you how subtle this can be. But I also want to play around with the attack modification so you can see what I mean when it lets in more of the low end and you can get, a little more aggressive compression out of it. All right, so I'm going to show you that right quick. Okay, so for this next example, I have the Arouser on a drum loop, and what I'm going to do with this is play this, and I'm going to do this a few different ways. I'm going to play you the settings I already have in, and then I'm going to bypass and engage that, and then I'm also going to play around with the attack modification and the ratios. The last thing I want to do with this drum loop is show you the detector sidechain EQ. Now I feel like the kick is poking out a little too much and I kind of want to tuck it back a little bit. So what I'm going to do is use the EQ and get the compressor to see more of that kick, to clamp down on the kick just a little more so we can even out this performance a little more. All right, so that is all I have for you today. And once again, that was the Arouser from Empirical Labs. Definitely go check this plugin out. I will leave a link below. And as you can see, it's a versatile compressor that has so much tone shaping capabilities that you can use this for anything in any situation. All right. Once again, I am Marcus with Machine City Audio. Thanks for watching. Peace until next time.